Jovan Simon was a United States citizen from Atlanta, Georgia, who was killed by the Trinidad and Tobago Police on August 14, 2024, in Balmain, Couva, Trinidad. Jovan's killing was not a case of mistaken identity. It was not stray bullets that killed Jovan or a tragic mistake by the police. Jovan was shot 13 times by the police. His death was a deliberate assassination of an innocent man to conceal an illegal extrajudicial killing program through the indiscriminate killings of crime suspects and innocent witnesses. Jovan was a star athlete and a brilliant student. He excelled in football, basketball, and track at Hiram High School, Georgia, and he was rated in the top 6 football running backs in the country. Jovan was destined for the NFL, but his football career was cut short by an injury. He persevered, and after completing his education, he began his career managing his successful family business in Atlanta, Georgia. Jovan was on a 2-week vacation in Trinidad. His parents are from Trinidad, and he migrated from Trinidad to the United States when he was just 6 years old. Jovan loved hanging out and visiting friends and relatives while vacationing. So, on the day that he was killed, Jovan was visiting a friend and having fun playing video games. Jovan was one of 6 people killed by police that tragic day in Balmain, Couva, Trinidad. 5 men and one 16-year-old girl were killed. The neighbors' and other onlookers' accounts of the killings and the physical evidence of the massacre extremely conflict with the police report of the incident. The police stated that they had information on 3 men who committed a home invasion robbery in the area, and that when the police, entered the house, they were fired upon. Witnesses gathered outside on the road, and neighbors looked on as police arrived. The witnesses stated that when the police entered the house, there was no gunfire, and that they only heard gunfire about 30 seconds after the police entered the house. Pictures, videos, and physical evidence in the house also tell a different story than the police report. It appears that Jovan and all the other 5 occupants of the house were in fear for their lives, so they all gathered in the one small bedroom. There was no gunfire evidence in the house except for 2 bullet holes in the bedroom wall, which is not consistent with shootout or someone shooting at another person. Each of the 6 victims received an average of 15 shots in their body, yet there were no police officers injured or evidence of gunfire from victims. The trajectory of the 2 bullet holes in the bedroom walls is not consistent with anyone firing at another person. Also, there was little blood evidence in the other rooms in the house, which indicates that Jovan and the other victims were assassinated in the bedroom. Lastly, all the victims had bullet holes in the palms of their hands and multiple guns shot with a highest of 28 shots for one victim. This indicates that Jovan had his hands up when the police entered the house. After Jovan's assassination around 6 a.m. that morning, August 14, 2024, the police did not call for medical attention for their victims, as required by their duty of care policy. They waited for hours for Jovan and the other victims to bleed out. Then, the police piled their bodies on top of each other in the back of a vehicle and faked rushing the shooting victims' dead bodies to the Couva Health Facility for emergency medical care. Healthcare professionals reported that they were horrified by how the shooting victims were transported to the medical facility. Everyone was already dead. However, in keeping with the agreements with doctors to cover up the time and place of deaths for police extrajudicial killings, Jovan and the other 6 shooting victims were declared dead while succumbing to their injuries at the healthcare facilities by doctors in collusion with the police. The police tried to cover up Jovan's killings by releasing false and misleading narratives through their media contacts to justify their actions. To add insult to tragedy, the police issued misleading statements to the media about the killings, and the media published the police statements without investigation and confirmation of the facts. Ian Allen, the host of the show Crime Watch, even went as far to state,
So these are the 6 individuals, ladies and gentlemen, that were shot dead by police. They were all part of the home invasion at the pensioner's house.
Ian Allen did not confirm his facts before reporting that Jovan was among the 3 men that allegedly committed the home invasion. His reporting caused additional pain and anguish to Jovan's family on top of his terrible assassination. The police stated that the 6 people killed in the house were involved in a home invasion robbery. However, the alleged robbery suspects were reported as 3 short African males who were wearing masks.
Okay.
There's three short African fellas.
Okay.
One
Okay,
of
they
them
all had
have
a mask?
One have a thick beard,
Uh-huh.
and one had a bandana.
Okay, okay, okay.
Jovan was over 6 feet tall, and one of the victims was a 5 foot 1 inch tall 16-year-old girl. It was alleged that the main target of the police operation, a man named Kelly, received a phone call to alert him of the police operation and left the house before the police arrived. Kelly and his mother are renters of the home. There was no reasonable exigent justification for the police to enter and kill Jovan. Police are not soldiers who kill on contact. Police operate to protect life and only take life when it is absolutely necessary. Jovan was the first United States citizen to be assassinated under the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service extrajudicial killing program and their no-witness policy. There have been dozens of these witness types of killings by police over the last 6 years. The Trinidad and Tobago police no-witness policy is a reality confirmed by the assassination of dozens of people who were just in close vicinity of police killings. These people had little or no connection to the alleged suspect that were killed, and they had no record of criminal activity. Jovan's family was not contacted by police or by the Trinidad and Tobago government, and no reports have been provided on his killing. The Trinidad and Tobago government has been supported by the United States in the form of millions of U.S. dollars annually for training and cooperation for law enforcement, and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has been the direct recipient of USA financial aid. Therefore, it is highly disrespectful and inappropriate that no official report and justification has been provided by the Trinidad and Tobago Police for Jovan's killing to his parents. Also, no report has been provided to the United States State Department, U.S. Embassy in Trinidad. Jovan is survived by his loving parents, siblings, and friends who were left heartbroken, and they have unanswered questions about his killing by the Trinidad and Tobago Police. He grew up in the United States, but his parents agreed to lay him to rest in Trinidad due to his love for that country. His funeral was attended by hundreds of people from Trinidad and the United States, including 2 of his friends who are NFL players for the Dallas Cowboys and Los Angeles Rams. Jovan's assassination was caused by a police system that is dysfunctional and corrupt and has lost all perspective on human rights and the value of human life. Proper proven police procedures for investigation, interrogation, arrest, and charges have been replaced with assassinations of crime suspects and witnesses. The line between criminal killing people and police killings does not exist. The police officers who assassinated Jovan were mostly in their 20s and early 30s, the same age group as Jovan. These are officers that not too long graduated from the police academy, and they were charged with the reform and the future of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. However, with the corrupt old guard still in charge, it seems that police reform is just a pipe dream for Trinidad and Tobago, and innocent people like Jovan will continue to pay the price.